Part B. In this part of the test, you'll hear 6 different extracts. In each extract, you'll hear people talking in a different healthcare setting. For questions 25 to 30, choose the answer A, B or C, which fits best according to what you hear. You'll have time to read each question before you listen. Complete your answers as you listen. Now look at question 25. Question 25. You hear a nurse talking to a patient whose 6-month-old baby is having childhood immunizations. Now read the question.
Thank you for bringing him today. So, he's having the 6-in-1 vaccination, which will protect him against 6 very serious diseases: whooping cough, tetanus, polio, hepatitis B, diphtheria, and Haemophilus B. Now, before I go any further, I'd like to make it clear that there's no risk whatsoever of your baby contracting any of these diseases from the vaccination, as it doesn't contain any live organisms. You may notice a few side effects, which could make him feel a bit irritable for a few days afterwards. There might be a slight red swelling or small bump at the injection site, and his temperature might be slightly higher than usual. If he develops a fever, keep him cool by giving him cold drinks and removing any heavy clothing. You should contact the doctor immediately if his temperature goes above 39 degrees. This is the first of 3 doses he'll be getting to ensure strong immunity. Each dose increases his immune response, and he'll need all of them.
Okay.
Question 26. You hear a pharmacist talking to a customer about an emergency contraceptive. Now read the question.
You should take this as soon as possible. It might make you feel a little bit queasy, but if you're actually sick within 3 hours of taking it, you should go back to your doctor as you'll need another dose.
Oh, really? How likely is that? It doesn't usually take much to upset my stomach, and I'm about to start a long shift. There's no way my manager will let me off to see a doctor.
Well, if you're really worried, I can give you something over the counter, but you might still feel nauseous, and it'll probably make you a bit drowsy.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll just have a coffee and take it easy. I can't risk throwing up, though. I don't want to have to take more time off for another appointment. It's really inconvenient.
Question 27. You hear a practice manager talking to a physiotherapist who's about to carry out a home visit. Now read the question.
Mrs. Rumble hasn't come to any of her appointments so far, and we're not quite sure why. She needs acute therapy after her knee replacement, and we can't have her missing them. Anyway, we've agreed for her to have a few home visits first, and then, hopefully, after a while, she'll feel more positive about coming in. While you're there, maybe you can check her reasons for not wanting to come to the practice. Oh, and give her daughter a quick ring first to make sure they're both expecting you. There have been a lot of misunderstandings with these appointments. She also needs to sign these forms. If you could help her check the information's correct, I've already filled them out for her, but she needs to sign the bottom. When she's done them, can you bring them back here and give them to the receptionist?
Question 28. You hear an occupational therapist talking to a patient who's recently suffered a stroke. Now read the question.
So today we're going to be looking at how to improve your upper arm strength, and I'm also going to show you some exercises which will help you increase the dexterity in your hands. Is there anything in particular that's causing you concern or discomfort?
Well, my left hand is the main problem. I feel like I can't rely on it. It's all weak and wobbly, and sometimes it suddenly goes floppy, or the muscles will go tight and start twitching and shaking about all on their own. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't grip things properly either, and of course I need the other hand for my walking stick. I really don't want to end up having an accident because I've not been able to pick up a cup of tea or hold on properly to a stair rail or something like that.
Question 29. You hear a GP talking to a patient at a community practice. Now read the question.
So I understand that my 15-year-old daughter came to see you a few days ago. I don't want to snoop or betray her trust, but I would like to know what the rules or laws in England are regarding confidentiality. I mean, surely as her parent, I'm allowed to know what's going on.
Well, under 16s are entitled to come and see us in confidence if they're believed to be competent enough to fully understand the situation. We don't disclose information, even if it's extremely sensitive, unless there's a grave risk of serious harm.
But how am I supposed to look after her properly if she's really sick and hiding it from me for some reason? I'm not happy about this at all. I wonder why she's not telling me.
We would always encourage a young adult to discuss issues with their parents, but in extreme cases, yes, the law does require us to report information in order to protect the patient.
Question 30. You hear a senior nurse talking to the staff at a care home about the use of hoists. Now read the question.
As you can see, we have hoists in all the bathrooms. They are complicated to use and potentially dangerous, so in order to avoid injuries, falls or any distress to patients, the correct protocol must be followed at all times when using this equipment. It's absolutely vital that a handling plan is completed for all patients who need to be moved using this type of equipment. It should detail all of the specific requirements, and by that I mean type of hoist, technique, number of trained handlers required, sling attachment loops to be used, and, where applicable, leg configurations. Everybody should go through this checklist with another member of staff every single time before using one, and nobody is to use one if they haven't attended the relevant course.
This is the end of Part B. Now look at Part C.